Have you ever enforced boundaries on women? Well, if you have, you probably experienced one of these two circumstances. Either she couldn't stand your frame and escaped the relationship, or she accepted your conditions and you gained control. Whatever the case may be, the reality is that both outcomes are positive because you can tell whether she is the one or not. It's hard to find high-value women out there, so instead of settling for low-hanging fruit, it's way better to ask for the best. Yeah, just like women want a six-figure, traditional guy and all that good stuff, as a man, you're free to ask for certain traits such as modesty, understanding, culinary skills, etc. No matter how much modern-day women consider this a form of oppression, even though it's just a preference. MGTOWs don't care because these women are the first to openly say that certain jobs are, well, a man's job. Double standards all over the place.
Y'all want to walk down the aisle in a white dress and get married, but none of you guys want to be fucking wives. You want to keep your Instagram open. You want to be able to keep your male friends. You want to still have your girls' nights out. You still want to be able to do all this extra stuff while still getting the security from a man. Women want traditional men without being traditional women. All I'm telling you guys is you guys need to fucking wake up. That's why this podcast exists, okay? We're waking men up every fucking day. We're the alarm clock to this bullshit. You guys need to put women's feet to the fire and make them work for you, because you have to bring way more to the table than they fucking do.
Yep. In today's video, guys, you'll get to know why modern-day women can accept men's boundaries and the consequences of this in the dating marketplace, including the undeniable rise of MGTOW, monk mode, and the related philosophies. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to Pink Fat Rabbit. He said, I personally know that my mother said to my sister, if she wants to have a family, she has to have a man before she's 30. Otherwise, it's too late. Don't women in the US have this conversation with their mothers? Maybe that's the problem. It's a valid question to pose. I genuinely think a lot of our problems stem from a lack of discipline and instilling proper values in our kids, and I fear for the children of modern women. It's a vicious cycle indeed, but that's advice for each one of you to consider and apply accordingly. Either way, please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps a lot. And now, back to the video. Embrace your masculinity. Every chick out there feels entitled to top-tier men, but pretty much none of them qualify for the job of being a good partner, let alone wifey. Women these days defend adult content creators, the female liberation movement, and a bunch of ideologies that objectify women. Still, these women dare to desire a traditional guy, aka provider and protector. In other words, they dress a certain way, hang out with male friends who are their particular backup plans, hit the club, and, all in all, engage in activities where they can easily cheat. When some cultures and religions encourage women to be obedient to men, it's not just for the hell of it or because men want to oppress women. Freedom is cool right until people do crazy stuff like cheating, popping harmful pills, and the like. Yeah, some chicks want the ring, the white dress, and the hard-working husband, but here's the right set of questions. What are they giving in return for that privilege? Pretty much nothing a man values. Are they wife material? Are they virgins? And most importantly, are they homemakers? The answer to all of these is a resounding no. No wonder why men are not even thinking of marrying these 304s. The insanity of modern women is limitless. They pull out long lists of requirements, swipe right less than 10% of the time, and still expect men to accept them just because they're pretty, if at all. To illustrate my point, a friend of mine shared with me an interesting anecdote about a chick he met on Tinder. This friend of mine matched with a girl, but right away he realized she had tons of red flags. First off, she openly said she was buying birth control pills on the regular, plus she was quite woke and couldn't take any jokes. The joke part was funny because instead of improving herself and minimizing her fragile big-ass ego, she said all the time she had Asperger's. Give me a break. If a man said so, he would be discarded right away, but still, my friend wanted to be nice and polite. At some point, the chick got so stupid that she preferred sending 1 minute plus voice messages victimizing herself. To add insult to injury, the next day she just said, "How are you?" as though nothing happened. Thankfully, he told her that he wasn't interested anymore, but she still wanted him to explain himself. My friend just said that he wasn't going to listen to those messages and he would be blocking her. Master move. The funny thing is that she was asking for all those explanations even though they never even met once in person. Thank God my friend didn't take that crazy chick. That's a huge example of enforcing boundaries.
Yes, it is okay for you to have male friends. You can have platonic relationships, for sure, 100%.
As long as the guy's okay with it, right?
As long as your man is okay with it, he should be, if he's not okay with it, that falls under insecurities, in my opinion. I think it's fine for you to have you have a brother, right? You can have cousins, male friends. It's all the same. It's cool. It can be platonic. It doesn't have to be anything sexual or anything underlying underneath it. Can there be? Yes. Does it always have to be that way? No.
I don't know if you guys interpret things the same way that I do, so I'm gonna explain to you how my mind works. As I'm listening to her speak about this, I'm understanding something very, very strong right now. I can see exactly why men don't open up to you guys. I can see why men don't feel vulnerable with you guys. Because the moment a man expresses, "Hey babe, you know what? I would not like you to go out." Or, "Hey babe, I don't feel comfortable with that guy friend." You're insecure. You're controlling. You're misogynistic. So at that point, he's like, damn, I can't even express how I feel because no matter how I feel as a person or a human being, she don't give a fuck. And imagine if you felt something. We all know we have to cater to every need for a woman. And you know this, ladies. So the moment it's you have to be catered to. Why isn't it the same thing? Why don't you ever look at a man's perspective and think, maybe it's deeper than that? Let me try to understand where he's coming from. No, the first thing you guys go to is, oh, he's insecure. Oh, little pee-pee energy. It's always something negative.
What's the consequence of these crazy double standards? Well, the answer is simple. Men don't want to deal with women anymore, or, in the best of cases, they might land a traditional woman in a different country. By traditional, I mean a woman who has learned how to be a wife and not just an obnoxious, argumentative, contradictory girl with just some pleasure-giving abilities. When a woman is jealous, it's all good because she doesn't want to be cheated on. But if a man tells a woman not to go out, drink alcohol, and stay around a bunch of dudes who will probably want to smash her, the man is just insecure. Give me a break. The good thing is that enforcing boundaries up front is the best strategy a man can implement. In other words, acting like everything's okay is a huge no-no because a woman who feels free to do whatever she wants can ruin a relationship, if not an entire species, immediately. Think of the parable of Adam and Eve. Let that sink in.
What is the most romantic thing a man can do for a woman, and what's the most romantic thing a woman can do for a man?
Okay, so I'd say the most romantic thing, I'll just use my own marriage, for instance. Obviously, for a woman being able to cook and clean, but I'll give some more specific examples like what I do. I wake my husband up with a massage and coffee every single morning, and every single night I'm scratching his scalp and giving him a back massage until he falls asleep. It's important that he falls asleep first. And I would say something that's romantic that he does for me. Well, since I do all of the cooking, it's nice when he takes me out for dinner because it's like a little break and it's just special. And then also even just while we're here in Miami, he's kind of like my little bodyguard, making sure if there's any men walking by, he just puts his arm around me and just making sure that I'm protected. That's really romantic, and that's something that a woman could never do for a man.
Wow.
Fantastic. Wow. I like it.
You are blessed.
I think a lot of women should really take heed to what you're saying. It's really great
Some very good
stuff.
points. Both you guys.
Yeah.
It all boils down to something we say a lot, a fair exchange of value. A woman who is not traditional cannot expect to land a traditional husband. You get what you give is a simple idea most people agree with but fail to implement. In particular, modern women think that sleeping around, posting certain pics, and doing certain jobs is the way to go, but nothing is more seductive than a woman who makes a man's life easier, is grateful, agreeable, and cooperative. You get the idea. Sadly, these women don't. That's why MGTOW is on the rise along with other lifestyles like monk mode, lone wolves, etc. Better single than with a bad chick that can ruin your peace of mind. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? What are the boundaries you enforce? Do you think you're being fair or asking for too much? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5.